Morning everybody, welcome back to another one of my episodes of the Toy Dungeon SA. This is part 2 of Toy Hall 27, where I talk only about games. So while going through the mall, I came across this Titan Pixel 8 Retro Console Special Edition. Now I've already bought a Titan Retro Console and that one is champion. 500 built-in classic games. Look, it's not like the Titan Pixel 8 TV game station, which is made to look exactly like the Retro Famicom family computer gaming system. And you have a slot where you can put your old retro games in if you have them. You got built-in games, and you get a cartridge with over 100 and something awesome titles. And later on I will go through some of these games just to show you the difference between the two consoles. So anyway, I'm free now, and as you can see with the Titan, it's made to look like the NES. So obviously I thought it was going to be as good as the Famicom one that I just showed you guys before, but no! What a letdown, what happened? Very disappointed. I might as well have just bought another one of these. I should have taken that Titan printed on the same shape of that NES. That should have been a red flag already there. I think we should go through this and just see what good titles they do have, because I know this game, like that G7 handheld I have, it's a cheapie, it's a cheap game thing, because that's all we get here. Obviously I can go online and get the most expensive, but I want to try review the stuff that's just all around me. But it's a learning curve for my channel and something different. Can't get the coolest things all the time, so let's do what we need to do.
So here we go. I mean, how many times when we were kids did we go through games that were 100 in one? I remember I started off with a 42 in one, some of them with 300 in one, at a friend's house, or borrowed or rented from the video shop. This really brings nostalgia to me. I really enjoy this. So I've even seen a million in one, but the thing that agitates me, that's also in this emulator box, when they do duplicates, where sometimes they change the names of the games, but it's the same game on repeat, or sometimes they just don't care and just put it on repeat and advertise it as like 500 or 600 in one, where it's actually only 300 games in one, and everything's duplicate when you get to a certain level. This is how it is, and let's go through some of the popular games that stand out to me. So the first game on my list here is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first game that came out. I think this came out in the 80s. Didn't personally have it as a kid, have it now, and saw lots of comics with advertisements in it of this game. Playing it, it is something else. Like the Ninja Turtles, you can play with all turtles, go in sewers, you have a top view, you have a side-scrolling view. I really enjoy the weapons that you get. You get a lot of different ninja weapons that's added to your arsenal of your normal TMNT weapons. Just depends what character you choose, and you get to fight a lot of different TMNT enemies the further you get. My furthest that I get in this game is just past the water stage with all the bombs that you have to defuse. Really cool game. Haven't got far, but actually I must sit down and try push this game. Next game I have here, this is like my favorite game of all time, even though I have PlayStation 3 and a lot of other systems and games. Ninja Gaiden 2 is my favorite game of all time. I love the playability, the way you walk on the walls, jump from wall to wall, different magics. You get those ninjas that follow you to help you in your quests. I love the storyline, love the cutscenes, and every time I play the first stage I want to speedrun it. And unfortunately, my cat baby has ruined it for me. Let's get to the next game. So next game I've got here is a classic. I mean, I had Double Dragon 1 on Famicom when I was a kid. I remember renting Double Dragon 3 from the video shop there in Maidstone in Lock Street. I think it was called Video 7. And I remember playing it on a Saturday night the whole night. It's really cool with the different characters that you can choose, but playing it now, I don't know how I got so far because it's seriously difficult. And how I figured it out when I was a kid, but awesome game. I don't know if I played with 2 players and let the one player die so I could go further. I have no idea, but I remember the ninja that you can choose, and Chinese martial artist, and Billy and Bimmy or Jimmy or whatever. Oh, awesome game. Love Double Dragon. Next up, we have here Tournament Fighters. This is like a Street Fighter version of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember having this on 16-bit Sega, but I see it also on this emulator box, which is kind of a cool game, being a Famicom game. Really enjoy it. And yeah, I just had to throw this into the mix, me being a big TMNT fan. I'm also awaiting one of my retro TMNT toys to come that I won on the bid the other day. Very cool. Another game that I forgot to mention is Gradius. One of my favorite space shooter games. The Gradius brand and Salamander's similar. Anything that's similar to this type of game, I really enjoy. Gradius 2 really stood out for me, but this is Gradius 1 on this emulator box, and I really enjoy it a lot. I remember in the past I used to get quite far, but now I get stuck at those two volcanoes that shoot out those rocks. I just can't get past there. Love the options. And I love the power-ups in the game, the lasers, the bombs. It's just one of those perfect games that they put together. And yeah, this is one brand I really like. From Gradius 1, 2, I see there's also 3 out. So if you get hold of this game, enjoy it, man. Last but not least on this section of games that I'm talking about, we have RoboCop, and I mean this was big when I was young. Remember this game, also rented it from the same video shop in Manhattan, Video 7. I get through the first and second part of the levels, but when I get to that guy holding the woman hostage, I always mess up. I can't seem to get past that part. But cool game, have a lot of cool sequels that I also remember playing, and I still have now to this day from those days, which is unreal. When I look at it, I just see myself as a kid again. So let's get to the next emulator part. Okay, so now plugging in this new gaming system, I've got the cartridge in the console, checking out the cartridge games, and wow, you can see they've actually done a sort of a rip-off of Memi with the picture of the game while you go through the lists of names of whatever game you want to choose, and it's so classic. They've even used some 8-bit sex appeal with some chickie in the background there. So funny. Let's see which game will pop out first. So first game is a classic. Came out in 1988. The awesome beat 'em up called Double Dragon with Billy and Jimmy. I still have the cartridge that I had when I was a kid. And from this game there were many spin-offs. There were even movies. I love it, and I guess this is why I chose this, because it's not in the previous console. I remember as a kid playing the game in the arcade, and it was fire. I love the movement of the arcade game though, so aggressive, so much in your face. One of my most influential games that I've come across from when I was young. So the next game I've chosen here is the first Ninja Gaiden, which came out in 1988, and for European release it was called Shadow Warriors, the same like the arcade version of the game, which is also one of my favorite Tecmo games of all time. It's not as good as Ninja Gaiden 2, where you can scale the walls. You can only jump and grab onto the walls. You can't walk up the walls, which is a kind of a bummer to me. But to have a couple of sequels of the game, I really enjoy such a thing. And just playing this for nostalgia's sake, because I played Ninja Gaiden 2 in the previous console. Next up, we have one of these cute games called Bobble Bobble. Came out in 1986, much older than the other games. Look, a lot of people like Pac-Man, but for me, I enjoy Bobble Bobble, Snow Brothers, strategic type of planning games. 2 dragon brothers called Bob and Bub, almost exactly like Snow Brothers, just different type of way of play, but very fun to play. Really enjoy it, and when I was young this game was everywhere. Next up, I have here POW, Prisoner of War. This came out in 1989 by SNK. Awesome beat 'em up. It's basically a jailbreak out of a prison camp. You're like a one-man army. It's a bit different from the arcade version. I miss the arcade version sound effects, which is really cool, but the music as well is awesome. There's a lot of features, a lot of weapons, a lot of things you can do that are not even in the arcade version of the game. So what we have here is very dear to my heart. This game came out in 1990. This is Ninja Turtles, the arcade game for Famicom, and I remember when I first got my Famicom system, I wanted this game so bad, and then one Christmas morning underneath the Christmas tree, I think it was 91, this game was there, and in playing it again brings back a lot of nostalgia. So much fun, so much good times. Remember playing with this, all my friends, though the game was a little bit limited. You could choose between all the characters, but when it came to the moves, a handful of moves that you could do, and we finished it, and going through it again just brings a smile to my face. So happy that I have this game that I can show you guys, and seeing that it's on the second system I've gone through shows that together I have most of the games that came out at those times. Okay, getting now to the final game. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Manhattan Project. This came out in 1992. When I was young, my mom would get me a present if I did well at school. So this one term I did well, and we went to our usual spot where we used to buy games, and unfortunately they didn't have any good games. I think we stopped to get a cold drink or something like that. Saw an Indian shop in the corner, and I found this game in that shop. It was a 3-in-1. It was the Manhattan Project, it was Captain America, and it was Snow Brothers, and that was one of my favorite games for a very long time. The cool thing about this Ninja Turtle game is that you have special moves. It was one of the first times that special moves were incorporated in the games. The moves were more like that of tournament fighters. Great game, had a lot of fun with it, finished it to expose me to a lot of different things in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because we didn't have KTV when we were young. If I wanted to watch the old TMNT, when I had to go to someone who had Mnet. But cool memory, cool to play it again, cool to have it again, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
So finally, this brings us to the end of the video. And I know, and I apologize, it's been such a long time since I've released one. I mean, I've been going through a lot of problems at this moment, but at least I've had time now to put aside so I can finish this video and give it unto you guys. Looking back on what I spoke about and how I approached it, I realized that I think I judged it a little bit too harshly. In having those two consoles, I could have had the best of both worlds. I consider this like an entry-level system. It doesn't have like really special games like Getsu Fumaden, Zen the Intergalactical Ninja, God World Quest. If you like what I do, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, hit the sub button, and I will see you in the next video. Till next time, cheers.